These calls I personally feel like are best interactive. So obviously, if you're not here, I would make it a point to come to these fire pit calls because they are once a month. And I think it's required at every single level to do the inner work required to have the life you want, to build the life you want, to build the business you want, to have the income you want, to hold the amount of income you want. Now, yesterday inside of Breadwinner Energy Academy, we had a call where we discussed being a business owner and thinking like the version of you that has what you want. I asked the room what their goals were for their business, their dreams, their like big vision dreams. And almost every single person in the room or who did the homework said, you want to write books, you want to speak on stages, you want to be TEDx speakers, you want to be a well-known name, a well-known brand, a well-known business. And then you told me you guys wanted a net worth of like 2 million to like $1 billion. And then we compared that to your favorite stores, your favorite brands, your favorite places to shop, and how those brands today, those stores today, don't just stop building or didn't just stop building because they didn't feel like it. And today will be a continuation of that conversation. However, we're going to take it a little bit of a different direction today. So I want to know if you, again, if you're watching the replay or if you're here, I would love to know is, do you want opportunities? Do you want someone to give you opportunities? Now, I ask this because I remember early on in business thinking to myself, if somebody would just give me an opportunity to hear me, to see me, to hear my story, to for me to share my business, if they would just give me an opportunity, a platform, then I know I would be really successful. And I remember thinking too, like if somebody would just give me a chance, I would be able to grow a really successful business. And I held on to that like needing saved a little bit for a very, very long time. And now today, I have a very different thought and ideology behind that. Now, 10 years in, I've grown multiple businesses. And yes, I've been on other people's platforms. I've spoken, I've collaborated, what have you. But nobody just gave me an opportunity. Now I'm building the house, the Breadwinner Energy House, which is a place where I resource and platform other women's businesses to literally give women the thing that I desperately wanted and needed for so long. And as I was thinking through this morning, I was thinking about how, in order to be in the house, in order to have those opportunities, there's a few things that have to happen. Number one, you have to have a business that is ready to grow, scale, ready to collaborate, ready to be platformed essentially. Because when you go through this process, we put you on our public directory where we're endorsing you, your name, your business. Okay. So your business needs to be ready to be endorsed to begin with. Then we're also hiring you. We're having other people hire you within the room. We're collaborating together. We're on each other's podcasts and we're growing our names, our networks together. So if you don't actually have a business ready to grow, you can't be in that room. And second to that is, are you mentally and emotionally ready to be at that level to even be platformed? And the reason I bring this up is because a lot of people want opportunities and a lot of people want to be seen and they want to speak on stages and they want to collaborate and be on people's podcasts. But very few women or people in general want to build a business that's ready to be platformed or become a version of them that can actually do that or hold that or build it to begin with. And so before seeking out opportunities and collaborations and bundles and summits and who can platform you and get your name out there, are you and your business even ready for that to begin with? Now I'm going to take it even a step further. On Threads a couple days ago, I posted a thread and I said on the thread, tell me what your business is and I will tell you how to make money, more money in the next 30 days. I'm going to pull that thread up here. And if it comes up on my computer, I'm going to share my screen. This is really important for every single one of you, whether you're just in the fire pit, whether you're in academy, or whether you're even in the house, which for most of you in the house, you shouldn't, this should not be a conversation I still have to have with you. But it's really important that we have this conversation because it showed me how many businesses don't actually grow, will not grow, and would never be ready to be in a room or collaborate whatsoever. Because when they would tell me what their business is, I still had no idea what they were talking about, what they do. There are 78 comments under that thread. 78 comments, and I had to reply to most of them because I had no idea what they did. It wasn't specific enough. And or it was something that a million other people do that I would be like, well, why does that make you any more special than anybody else doing that thing? So I'm going to pull that up in a minute. We're going to go through that. I'm going to read it to you. Okay, let's see. Um, oh my gosh, Toriel, I love this win that she woke up and paid anyway. I love this. I also love that you like held the standard of like paying to be in the room and then she just did it. I always find it interesting too when people are like, I just can't pay for it right now or I can't afford it right now. I find that interesting, not because I think that it's not a true statement, because sometimes those are actual true statements, but I also find it an interesting statement because 9 times out of 10, people do have the money. They just don't want to spend it, or they don't believe in the result that they would get, or they don't believe it would actually make the money back, so they don't spend the money. But that's like the most classic thing that people use. Okay. Funny enough, I have 3 collabs ready to go on LinkedIn, a top 100 Black Leaders Summit I have to record my talk for, and I've been procrastinating to reach back to them. I'm going to be responding this afternoon. Yes. Yes. Okay. Let me share my screen and we're going to look at this together. Because for most of you that are watching this replay, this is probably you. And so if this is you, this is your work. This is also the work that I do inside of Breadwinner Energy Academy. We call it Finding Rome, which is what is the one thing that you are known for with a very clear, tangible result. So it's your story plus your skill or your modality equals a tangible result. Almost everybody leads with a modality before they lead with anything else, which tells me nothing about you, why I should hire you, or how you're any different than anybody else. So, like this, I help women become her, which is not tangible. And what is becoming her? And if does someone wake up and say, "Oh my God, today I want to become her through astrology, human design, and rewire my subconscious brain. Let me go find that and spend money on that." Literally nobody says this. And I'm going to reply to this person and tell them this. I'm going to say to this person, Universe of Betty. And what I also find to be funny is when I would go and click on someone's profile, it almost would never say those things. It would say something like completely different. Then I would open their website and it would say like 1,000 different things. And I'm like, I don't know what you're known for. So I would never buy from you. And if I have to dig to find what you're known for, I would gloss over you. Those are the people who reach out to me and say, I would love to be on Breadwinner Energy Academy podcast. It's never happening. Okay. And I say this from a perspective of someone who spent the last 10 years building multiple businesses by myself to figure out how to then be able to share this with other people, while also being on the other end, being like, now I want to give opportunities to women, but I can't give opportunities to women who are not ready for those opportunities. So what do? I have the fire pit, which helps you mentally and emotionally get ready to be that version of you, and the academy, which actually helps you build that version of you. And it is your job to do both of those things regardless. So the savagery from yesterday never ended. It literally didn't. It did not end. I was like, we're just going to keep continuing on to this conversation because I also find it to be where I also see a lot of women burn out. I see a lot of women quit. And I also see a lot of women be like, this isn't sustainable and I can't keep going. So you have to make a decision. And that decision is, if it's not sustainable, what are you going to do to change it? What are you going to do to fix it? What are you going to do to make it sustainable? Right? And what is the energetic and internal work you're going to do to go after it at all costs? If this is truly what you're meant to do, this is your passion, this is your purpose, this is the thing that is on your heart, what are you willing to do to do it? And I will tell you, this comes from, I will tell you, I lived in victim mode for a very long time of being a victim of my own circumstances, being a victim of like, why me? Why is it taking so long? And why is it not working? And I sat in a room and I was like, I've been here for 5 years and I'm not as successful or well off as some of the other women in here who've been here 2 years. And I had a woman say, in 18 months, I made my first $1 million. And I started my first business 18 months ago. And I wanted to slam my computer shut and be like, fuck all of you. I hate this, and quit, because I'm like, 18 months? And here I am for 5 years, not even close to that. I was working on my first 6 figures. Are you kidding me? And that was when I had finally been like, you know what? I can sit here and compare to everyone else. I can be the victim. I can be pissed off at the world and I can hate how hard it is. Or I can make a decision that I'm going to do something about it. because complaining about it's not going to change it. Right. And that was what I had to do. Okay. So we're going to ask this woman, or we're going to tell her. We're not even going to ask her. We're going to tell her. Oh my gosh, what is wrong with my computer today? If you want to make more money in the next 30 days, I would first clean up. Let's see, how do I want to say this? I would comment. I would stop leading with intangibles, common, what are they called? Common buzzwords and modalities. I'm gonna say nobody wakes up saying, okay, so nobody wakes up saying, I want to become her today with human design. Let me pay thousands for this. And why would she hire you over a million other coaches that offer this? Let's go back though to all of these comments of other people saying this, okay? The unicorns in life and business are those, where did we skip to? Are those who are authentically living their truth. Their choices, actions, leadership are all aligned, and the outcomes they deliver resonate that truth. I am a coach who co-creates unicorns. I'm not gonna lie, I have no fucking idea what I just read. I have no fucking clue what she just said. Literally. I'm I told her if she wants to make more money in the next 30 days, then I would work on what you actually get as a result tangibly because I have no idea what this means, right? And I just read it and everyone's like, hello, what are you saying? Okay, let's keep going. I do spiritual services, tarot readings, and energy healing services that give them clarity and hoping that it can be a stepping stone for their breakthroughs. What? Here's the thing is, I do spiritual services, tarot reading, and energy healing. Let's go to Google. Where's my Google? How many people in the world offer tarot reading and energy work? There's no exact global count, but down here, this industry is valued at $6.8 billion. Let's say, if you had to guess, if you had to guess how many people in the world did this, what would we say? 5 million to 10 million people. So out of 5 to 10 million people, you think that that's going to make you be chosen. And not to mention clarity and hoping it can be a stepping stone for their breakthroughs. What breakthroughs? What are you talking about? Nobody wakes up in the morning and says, oh my God, I need clarity and a breakthrough. Let me go hire a tarot reading and get energy work done. And even if they did, the chances of them finding the lovely kittenist is 0 to none. Not scalable at all. Okay. I help ambitious, time poor coaches, consultants, and creatives run a thriving business in part time hours. This is close. And I gave her that this was close, but I also gave her this. I would get more specific because everyone who runs a business thinks or claims to be ambitious, and that's too vague because that's like literally every woman who wants to hire a coach who is a coach considers herself ambitious to some level, okay? But then I'm like, okay, but why is she time poor? And why does she want to work less? And what does working less or part-time mean? Does she have a 9 to 5? Is she a mom? Like, let's get more specific, okay? So then I gave her something specific, would say like, I help moms grow their coaching business in 8 hours a week to 6 figures while their clients get massive results using her blank method, right? That is very clear and specific. Another one, I am an intuitive healer who guides women through their own healing journey with help of my vocal transmissions and channeled singing. It was not specific enough. And I even went to her page and I was like, hey, I think this was the one. No, she wasn't the one. There was another one that did something similar. And when I went to her page, she was like, I've been on TEDx stages and I help other women build TEDx like talks. That was on her website, but she didn't say that here. And I'm like, that's what you should be leading with at all times. I'm not obviously going to go through all 70, 80 comments now, but this would be a good thread resource. I'm going to copy and paste this for every single one of you to go through who is working on being clear, specific, and tangible for what it is that you do. Because if you aren't, here's what's going to happen. Number one, you're going to call in an audience of a bunch of different people for a bunch of different things. You're going to offer one-to-one services and shapeshift for those clients. It's not sustainable. It doesn't grow. It can't scale. And not only when you do that, let's say over the next year, you work with like 10 to 15 people in one-to-one and you do all of your different modalities. Now, at the end of that, you're like, okay, I have realized this isn't scalable. I want to make more money. I want to grow. So we go into group, but you have no idea what to build a group around because you've worked with 15 different people on 15 different things with 15 different results because you do all the things for all the people and lead with modalities. Then you go to start a podcast. But what is your podcast going to be about? Because it can't be all about all those things, or it can be, but you're not going to get collaborations. You're not going to grow because you're not actually known for anything. And then when you go to collab, your collaboration is going to be just a bunch of fucking hoopla of all of these things and all these things you do and all these different offers that calls in all these different people. You're never known for anything. And then those people leave because they go find someone else that is actually known for the thing that they want or need to buy. Okay? That has to be cleaned up. If you want to make more money, if you want to collaborate, if you want to be seen, you have to be known for something, which will include your story, your journey, whatever it is that you've been through, plus what it is you do, why you do it, and a tangible result that your people get. It has to be cleaned up. It's called All Paths Lead to Rome. All paths lead to one signature scalable group coaching program. And that is that result that everything else in your business is known for. It's what we do in Academy. So you start with your freebie or your podcast or your social media or all of them. And you become for that one, known for that one thing, which leads to a low ticket offer, which is a taste of one thing that you teach that you're known for, which leads to a signature scalable offer. We're doing building bootcamp in Academy in September. So if you're in the fire pit and you need to do this work, I highly suggest that you get in Academy for the building. Okay? All right. Let's go back though to the energetic side because while the strategy side is only one piece of it, whenever we do this work and we decide what it is that you're going to be known for, the one thing that you're going to be known for, what happens though is you guys have a lot of mind drama. So much mind drama around being known for one thing because you're like, well, I could leave somebody out, or that's leaving money on the table, or well, I could do this, this, and this, and this, and this, and I have 37 certifications. And so, how do I implement all these certifications and tell everybody what I can do? Right? And then you get stuck in the one-to-one trap because you think that nobody's going to buy your group because it all comes back to your thoughts. But then you have this, when I ask you guys, what are your goals? What are your dreams? What do you want to be known for? It's like this big, massive goals, this a big amount of money that you want. But then on the other side, it's what you're doing every single day in your business, which does not add up or align at all to growing and scaling. If you want to speak on a stage or write a book, guess what? You have to be known for one thing. And that one thing will be attached to your name or your brand name to be known for this one core mission. Coaches and service providers that become million billionaires and have net worths and speak on stages and write books is because they decided to be known for something and build a brand and a movement around that one thing. It's not because they took their name and their service and massively became successful from being a service provider. It's because there's something deeper under the service. Because there's a million people in the world who coach and do services. But there's only one of you with your story of what you went through to build the brand you did, to has the mission you have, has the movement that you have that changes big lives and makes big impact. But are you leading with a movement and a mission, or are you leading with a service? Because that's going to be the difference. People buy results from people they like, from people they trust, from people that they connect with. So are you a person that people know and connect with, and you have a mission or a movement that gets them the results they want? Because if the answer is no, and you don't clean that up, you're going to spend years being overlooked. because there is going to be someone in the world who does what you do and makes more money than you. And if you don't believe me, go take a Google search and figure it out. There will be someone who does what you do and shares probably the same beliefs and philosophies and ideologies that you do, and has similar services and offers that you do, and has similar pricing, maybe even more expensive, and they're making more than you because they're leading with being known for that thing and sharing their story and what they've been through. That is your work. But you can't do that when you're playing mind drama games with yourself all day long about, well, it's not going to work for me. And it worked for her because she's pretty and she's cute and she has a rich baby daddy and her dad makes a lot of money and she has a trust fund and she got opportunities and she's skinnier. I used to be that way. I used to be like, well, that's because her husband's rich and he funds her business. And maybe that was true, but why does that matter to me? Because that's not my life. And the more time I spent playing that game about how it's not going to work for me because the more time it literally didn't work for me because. And I had to make a decision that this is going to work for me. It's non negotiable. There is no plan B. I'm not going back to a job. I'm going to make this work, hell or high water. I'm figuring it out because this is what I want. This is what I'm meant for. And I had to take myself away from all of the, it's never going to work. It's never going to happen. It's taking so long because those thoughts don't actually fuel what I want whatsoever. And I had to start being like, okay, if I truly want this, what am I willing to do? And how am I willing to think and feel? Now, don't get me wrong, I'm a human. So I experience human emotions and I experience negativity a lot. Like today, I'll be honest, my sister was here, my kids are screaming, my period will start any minute. I'm not in the mood, right? I'm not in the mood. I want to lay in bed. So on those days, I have negative thoughts like, I should just quit. Why do I even do this? I don't even need to do this. I don't need it. I'm financially well off. I have a lot of money in investments. I don't need to do this. I do it because I love it and I want to, not because I need to. Why am I doing this? And then I'm like, okay, that's the period talking because that's luteal phase because that's not actually true. I literally love what I do. I am obsessed with what I do. I'm obsessed with all of you. And I'm like, this is what I meant to do. That's literally luteal phase talking. And luteal phase, she does this almost every month to me. She's like, quit. Everyone hates you. You're ugly anyway. And I'm like, okay, so I'm going to shut that down. And when my brain goes there, because I am a human, do you know what I do? Nothing. I don't make business decisions. I'll even tell my assistant or my team, I'm not in the right headspace to make decisions today, so I'm not going to. I will come back to this tomorrow or next week and I will let you know, but I'm not going to make a decision on this right now because I don't have clear thoughts. And you know when I know they're not clear thoughts is because they're not neutral. They're coming from an energetic place. So that energetic place can be exhaustion, burnout, frustration. So if the emotion is really high and on the other end it could be really high, like excitement. I feel so excited about it and so amped up about it. And I know eventually that emotion is going to come back down to a neutral place. So I don't make decisions from heights. I used to really badly. And it didn't pan well most of the time, or like it would be really good and then it would be really bad. Or I'd be like, ooh, I regretted that decision. So on those days, I say, okay, my brain is not in a neutral place to make healthy, neutral decisions. Or I just filter it through. Like if I have to make a decision because I've either procrastinated it too long or the decision just literally needs to be made, I go through a protocol of making decisions. And the protocol of making decisions almost always goes back to, does this answer, yes or no, get me closer to the life I want to live? Does it get me closer to the goals and dreams that I have for the business? Does this answer actually impact me now but will gain me further in the future? Or does it make me feel good now but in the future will actually be an aligned decision? So I go through a protocol of making these decisions and then I make it from that place. But I don't make it off of emotion 99% of the time, which is different than intuition. Intuition for me is like I have a gut like knowing of it's just like a fuck yes or it's a no. And I know that that's my human design. So I make decisions from that place, but I don't make the decisions from the place of like feeling bad or feeling like a victim of my own circumstances or feeling really, really good. Because let's be honest, from day 4 of my period through ovulation, I can tackle the world. I can do all the things. and I love life and love love and love everything and I love everyone and everything's so fun and beautiful and magical and creative. So during that time, it's really easy to be like, yes, I'll do all these things. Yes, I'll do this. Yes, I'll do that. And then 2 weeks later, I'm like, why did I say yes to that? So I don't make those choices in the moment. I make the choices of how does this actually fuel? Now, on the opposite end of that, sometimes I have to make decisions that I don't necessarily want to do right now, but I know doing it gets me closer to the life I want. So I say yes and I put on my big girl panties and I do the thing that I don't necessarily want to do in order to have the life I want. Now, I have given, if you're in my rooms, I've given you guys a lot of tough love lately. I have. And if you've been here long term, you've gotten plenty of doses of tough love from me. Okay. And here's what I want to tell you. Life and business are about balance. Okay. They are. They are a balance of like, some days we do the thing and some days we don't do the thing. And you have to find that balance of doing the things you don't want to do, doing the things that are uncomfortable, doing the things that are hard, while also learning how to take breaks and learning how to pace yourself and learning how to find love and joy for your life in between doing the things. Like that is the work. Okay. It's totally the work along with your like inner work of your brain. That is how it goes. But I also want to tell all of you here is you're not a special unicorn. You are, but you aren't, in a way of feeling like this is only happening to me. I'm the only person that feels like this. I'm the only one not successful. I'm the only one that's going through this like journey that feels like it's taking forever. No. And if you talk to your peers and you talk to each other, you will quickly find out that most of us are either going through it, have gone through it, just came out of it, have experienced it many times, which can create a sense of like, okay, this is part of the journey. This is part of the waves of business, and I'm going to ride these waves, but I'm not going to make decisions from this place. Okay. I want to see more of you make faster decisions, and I want to see more of you build. The faster you can make a decision on what you're known for, the easier it will be to build the rest of your business around it. The easier it will be to make yes and no decisions. The easier it will be to decide what's next for you, what's next for your business, what to do, what not to do. But you have to know what you're going to be known for before you can know, should I launch this podcast? Should I post on this platform? What should I say for content? What should I be selling? What should I be launching? What offers should I be creating? It all comes from knowing what you're known for every single time. And if you want to know and you need help and you need feedback and you need coaching on what to be known for, you need to be an academy. In September, we not only will figure out what you're known for, we're building your signature offer together. Okay. You need to know, you need to make a decision. Some of you are already in academy, so you need to build. You need to build like your life depends on it. I will tell you that some of you, I know because I've coached some of you, wait to hit rock bottom before you dig yourself out of it. I also used to do that. I would hit rock bottom mentally, emotionally, financially. And then I'd be like, okay, well, now I got to do something about it because I literally don't have money to feed my child. And I've used my food stamps. So I need to figure out how to sign another client. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that. Make a decision. How am I going to create a sustainable business that keeps me in business long term, that allows me freedom? And when am I going to sit down and just do the thing? Okay, none of us got into business because we're like, God, I cannot wait to sit down and build a funnel. I can't wait to sit down and craft an offer. None of us. None of us decided to be business owners to do that, but it's required. And the faster you do it and the faster you get it over with, number one, you teach yourself it wasn't that bad, it wasn't that hard, and now I can do it better and faster next time because I made it a bigger deal than it actually was. Right? And then once you've done it and you realize it's not that bad and you get it over with and you become known for one thing, hopefully you don't have to keep rebuilding things. You just have the thing you're known for that you built one time that you figure out how to grow and scale over time while figuring out how to manage your brain and live your life. That's the goal, right? That's what we got into business for. We got into business to make big impact, to change lives, to make a lot of fucking money and have a lot of fucking freedom. And almost all of you want those three things. Are you doing what's required to have them? Or are you being like, I don't feel like it today. I don't feel like it today. I don't feel like it today. I feel like shit. It's not working. Everyone hates me. Everyone else is better than me and cuter than me and richer than me and smarter than me. And life is happening to me. And my period just started. Right? I'll give it to myself on that once I realize Something I move. Yeah, that's like the best too. I'm really proud of myself for quickening how long I get out of indecision. Ooh, I love this. I stick it out. This is such a good thing to have, and I'm really proud of yourself. I'm really proud of you. Geez, I can't talk today. I'm really proud of you for recognizing this within yourself and also working on this and moving out of indecision quickly. Because that's the thing is, I talked to my daughter about this over and over and over again. And then my sister talked to my daughter about this today, which is anxiety, okay, and coping skills for anxiety. And we talked to my daughter because she wants someone to fix it for her. She wants a therapist to fix it for her. She wants mommy to fix it for her. We've even talked about medication to fix it for her. But what we had to tell her is you have to use your coping skills. And it's not you use the coping skills one time and then everything's better. It's that you use them over and over and over again until you rewire your brain. And once you do it over and over again, it rewires your brain for a new baseline, right? And so what I've gathered from this and how I'm comparing this is how much do you stay in being miserable? Some of you are addicted to being miserable. Some of you are addicted to hating your life and never being enough and never being good enough. You're like literally addicted to your shadow side. Yeah? But if you can realize that you're always going to have anxiety, not anxiety literally, but human emotion, you're always going to have the 50-50. Life is 50 good and 50 bad. There is no escaping that, no matter how much money you make, no matter how, like, whatever you do, how successful you are, you will forever experience the human experience, the 50-50. And your job is to figure out how to move out of that quicker. It's not how to get rid of it forever, although I wish we could. Right? It's how to acknowledge this is how I feel, this is why, this is where it's coming from, and also staying in this doesn't serve me whatsoever. So I'm gonna allow myself to feel it. I'm gonna allow myself to be in a shitty mood. I'm gonna allow myself to have a day, lay on the couch, be a cunt, whatever. I'm gonna allow myself to feel this, and I'm gonna put my big girl fucking pants on and move on. I'm going to allow myself to sit in indecision. And when you do this, when you allow yourself to sit in indecision, stop arguing with yourself about being in indecision. Sit in it. Stop trying to change it. Stop trying to fix it. Just be like, right now, I don't know. Right now, I don't have an answer. So I'm not going to try to figure one out. I'm going to just sit in the fact that I don't know and I'm not figuring it out. And I will come back to it tomorrow and then I'll think about it. We call it worry time in my house. You have a worry? Great. At 5 p.m. CST, we will be having worry time. Put it in the box and we'll see it at 5 o'clock. And until then, forget it exists. Yeah, chilling today. Exactly. That's what I'm doing when I get off of this call. I have things I can do around this house, like plenty of them. I have 3 baskets of laundry in my room that need folded. Guess what? I'm not fucking doing them. I'm not doing them. I don't care. My sister brought me dinner that just needs to be put in the oven later, and I need to grocery shop. Not doing that either. Don't care. I'm not. Okay. If you would like coaching or feedback today, tell me and we will do it. And if you're watching the replay, again, I would challenge you to put these calls on your calendar to come to these calls and to get the daily dose, the monthly dose of motivation that you need. And I would also challenge you, if you're not in Academy, to be in Academy. And if you're curious on Academy, you can ask our lovely women, our founding mothers. You can ask them who are in the house, who've spent lots of Academy time with me, and or you can ask other Academy students what they think about it, if you should be in it. Or you could ask me. You can shoot me a DM and ask me, and we can chat through if you're ready. But if you're considering doing it, I would 100% pull the plug for September because we have 6 calls together, live, building together. Okay? You're not going to want to miss that one. In October, we're also doing a leads to sales challenge, and we're focusing on launching and selling, launching and selling, launching and selling, and being really good at making a lot of money. Okay? So if you're like, I know I need to be known for something, and I know I need to have the model, and I know I need to know how to get more leads and more money, join now so that you can get all of it live for the next 2 months. Okay, Taste Tough Love is like crack if you're ready to build. Literally, I had a student tell me one time, I wish you could be like give us like recordings that we could just like play on our phone over and over and over again, like clips of recordings that I could just like listen to all day. And I'm like, girl, that's the podcast. That's the coaching vault. Like just open it on your phone in school or the podcast and just binge it because this is what I do. Someone was like, "You're a motivational speaker," and I'm like low key scared of you, but every time I like leave on fire and inspired and ready. And I'm like, yes, that's the thing, do the thing. And I will tell you, I only teach this stuff from the lens of like understanding that I was a perpetual victim, understanding that I had unfortunate circumstances and like let them rule my life, living from like being broke and having no opportunities, living from like going through divorce, going through abuse, going through childbirth, going through like taking time off, going through grief. Like I understand lifing at max fucking capacity, okay? So I don't tell you this from like this pretty sea of like everything's perfect now and now, right? Life is so great and it's so easy. No, it's not. And it never is. It's like you live it and you understand it and you survive it. Well, also like, do you have a business that can hold you so that you can take time off, so that you can live your life, so that you can have psycholuteal weeks or whatever it is, and the business doesn't need to ebb and flow with you. It shouldn't be like the business is shut down because I'm in a terrible mood. It should still be able to run. So that's what we build in Academy. Okay. Any questions or coaching? Okay, I don't need coaching per se. I want a bit more understanding on how to do a lead magnet that's not like typical same old same, that still opens the way for them to go deeper. Does it need to go to a low ticket thing? Okay, or can it jump straight to high ticket? Great question. So here's the thing is, with a freebie, your freebie should always lead to your signature offer. Your signature scalable group coaching program that's priced 10 to 10 or 2 to 10K, 2 to 10K. Okay. So it should definitely start there. And then it can be like, go straight to there. And it's like, if you're not ready, get the low ticket item. Okay. And then the low ticket item pushes back. So this is where all paths lead to Rome is, because all paths lead to Rome doesn't actually matter. It doesn't matter if they start with the freebie, if they start with your content, if they start with your podcast, if they start with your low ticket offer. It doesn't matter because all paths always lead to this one core result, this one thing you're known for, and this one signature offer. And so what happens is, let's say someone comes to your podcast, they listen, they hear the signature offer, they're like, cool, I'm not ready. Perfect. Go to the low ticket. They go to the low ticket, they love it. It sends them emails and podcasts about the signature, and they literally warm themselves up to be ready for signature offer, right? And then you drop something new. You're like, hey, I just dropped a masterclass. Hey, I just dropped a podcast. They're binging and warming themselves up to be ready for your signature offer. You do this for 6 to 12 months, you get hundreds of thousands of leads, and they're all warming themselves up because everything you do always talks about the same thing for the same person with the same result. And all they have to do is decide, am I ready to take the signature offer and go all in? And if not, I'll just fill myself into a low ticket, fill myself into the freebies, or fill myself into the content and podcast and get myself ready for this offer. So everything you do is always leading to this one place. Now, the second thing is, you said, hold on. How do I have a lead magnet that's not typical same old, same old? So here's the thing is, it's much less about the modality. So whether it's a free masterclass, whether it's a podcast series, whether it's a download, like no that none of that structure matters as much as like what is inside and how quickly does it get someone's attention. Okay? Because we all know that there's many of us and others that grab freebies or grab masterclasses and they either sign up and they never come, or they sign up and they never watch the replay, or they watch like 10 minutes and then stop and they got busy and then they never finished it. Okay? How do we get someone's attention and how do we give them the result right away? So, first and foremost, you need to know Rome because you need to know what you're known for and you need to have a very clear, tangible result. That clear, tangible result is the freebie. Okay, so if it's like, I'm gonna help you learn how to be promoted in corporate as a woman of color in 60 days, then I would say inside this freebie, I'm gonna give you my number one tip that I give everyone of color on how to get promoted in the next 60 days. She's gonna be like, perfect, that's me. I'm in corporate. I'm a woman of color. I want to be promoted. And you can even say, like, get promoted without taking on more responsibility or get promoted without doubling your hours. I don't know. Okay. You can get really specific. That grabs her attention. The moment she grabs that, whether it's a podcast, whether it's a download, whether it's a masterclass, the first thing I want you to do is be like, tell her that this is what I'm going to help you do. How do I know? I'm a woman of color. I was in corporate this many years. I've helped this many people get promoted. And this is the number one thing that I have seen over and over and over again. This is how you feel. This is what you're thinking. This is what you're experiencing. And you want to be promoted and or find another job with better pay and whatever. Again, get more specific. And then go in and teach the one thing. Change her mind, change her perspective, change the way she sees it, change the way she thinks about it, change the way that she has been taught up until this point, because that's immediately going to create connection, trust, authority. Because she's going to be like, oh my God, I've never had anyone tell me it like that. I've never had anyone say it that way. I've never had anyone who like truly gets it and understands me. And you just did that in the first couple seconds. Okay. I would also have like emails going out to her from this, whatever you gave her, and or podcasts that go out to her that continue to warm her up. Now what's happening is she's like, she goes to work, that thing happened. She's like, I remember her saying this. I love her. She goes and listens to your podcast. She goes and binges more of your podcasts. She's like binging all your content. She's like, I've got to get in the room. I don't have but she's like, I don't know if I should spend the money, right? Like that's what she's thinking. I don't know if I should spend the money, but like I really want to be in this room. She like I really love her. And everything you do, everything you send, everything that goes out, she's like, oh my God, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it, rip the band-aid and sign, right? Like that's how she's feeling. Whether that takes her a day, 3 days, a week, a month, 6 months. But if you pull in 100 people doing that, and all you're doing is feeding her that same thing over and over and over again, you're living rent free in her head, she's eventually gonna pull the plug. And your job is just to keep hammering in your messaging for the same woman about the same thing when you know what she wants and you know what she thinks and you know what she feels, and let those people warm themselves up. So it's much less about same old like masterclass download series, and it's more about the quality of what you give. And it's more about like living in her brain. So I would want you to find that one core thing that your whole masterclass or series or whatever is built around. And then I would want you to drip out content to help get more in her brain of what she thinks, what she feels. Okay. And then you can start doing objections. Like you're really wondering, is it worth it to sign up for this program? It takes 6 months. It costs $1,200. Well, in 6 months, when you make double or triple what you make now and you have a job you actually love and you're actually well respected, it's going to be worth every dollar and then some. I did an analysis on my LinkedIn content and it was like, I'm surprised because your transcripts say this, but you're not really present on your LinkedIn. Yeah. So we want to make sure that everything we do is cohesive. So no matter where someone finds you, they're like able to binge. Now, when you guys find your realm and you find your the thing that you're known for, I would push for a podcast and or like video content showing your face and talking to your audience and like letting them experience you, your face, your work, your voice, your tone, like how you operate, because that's going to create connection the fastest. And they're going to be like, shit, I love your vibe. I want to know more. I want to see more. They binge the podcast. They've literally warmed themselves up. Like I have people literally come to me and come to my DMs and they're like, I've been binging your podcast for 6 months straight. I've listened to every episode. I literally love you. Can't wait to work with you. And I'm like, I've never seen this person before. And they're like binging. There's so much to consume already out there that like you can find my Instagram and then go binge 200 podcast episodes and I didn't have to create a single bit of new content, and it's all talking about the same thing to the same person with the same result over and over and over again. You see what I mean? So like that amount of time really creates so much for your business. So Toriel, for you, I would focus on how can I like let her experience me the quickest? I would probably say a free masterclass, because I think you should show your face and I think you should talk straight to her and just like be a real human and a straight shooter and give her 30 minutes of like, this is what you think, this is what you feel, this is what you're experiencing. I know because I was you. I know because I coach women like you. Here's what I do. Here's the number one thing I'm going to teach you today, and walk away with. And if you want to actually go through my entire process to be promoted in the next blank amount of days, you should be inside this room. This is what it costs. This is the payment plan. Join right now. When you join right now, you could even do a bonus. When you join right now, I'm going to immediately look at your job, your position, your pay, and I'm going to tell you what you could tweak in the next 30 days to either get that raise or to find a new job. I'm obviously just making this up. I'm making up numbers because I don't know your work like you do. You make it up. Okay. Still focusing on consulting. I need to go a bit harder on BDC actually fully showing up. I agree. So then I would also go into after that is like, how can I drip content to her? In between her just watching this masterclass and her making a decision if this is for her. Obviously, you can do consults if that's what feels best for you right now as you're growing, and you can offer her a consult to get on the phone, 15 minutes to see if this is for her. And I would not give consulting on that call. I would literally give like, is this for you? Yes or no. Um, yeah, so I would do that. And I would really consider like, am I gonna have like videos that are on LinkedIn or Instagram or wherever I'm gonna be and push those to her, or am I gonna have a podcast and push that out? But I would go all in on one message for one woman at every single angle. And then what happens is the more you're on LinkedIn, the more you talk to women, the more you coach women, what's going to happen is they're going to bring you an issue that they're going through. And that issue is now your content. And you're going to be like, if you are this, if you're feeling this, if this has ever happened to you, if you've ever thought this, here's what I would tell you. Here's what I just told a client inside my program. Here's what I just worked through with a client inside my program, inside whatever. And then they're going to be like, holy shit, this is me. And now I want to be in the room. And you're going to take all that content and you're going to repurpose it, or all those conversations, and you're going to repurpose it into content. But this is why I will die on the hill of being known for one thing. Because when you're known for one thing and you walk women through the same process with the same problem, who all want the same result, now you have testimonials. Now you know how to get in every one of your leads' brains because you're doing it with your clients, and it just feeds more content, and it feeds more ideas, and it feeds your masterclasses, and it feeds your podcast, because it's all tied to this one thing for this one woman for this one result. Now you become known for it. When I asked you guys, what do you want to be known for? Where do you see your business? Where do you see your brand in the next 5 years, 10 years? Almost all of you are like, I want to be known for this one thing. I want to be known as the woman for this. I want to be known as the go-to for this, the expert for this. Why aren't you building that right now? Why aren't you being the go-to expert for that one thing right now? There's nothing holding you back from being the expert in this category right now, other than building your entire business around the one thing you're going to be known for. Stop being like, well, I might change my mind. I might not like it. I might get bored. If you're bored, get a hobby. Build a business that makes reoccurring revenue. Be good at one thing. Master one thing. That's like going to school to be a lawyer and spending hundreds of thousands of dollars and then being a lawyer and immediately starting and being like, well, this is too hard. I don't actually want to do this. I'm going to start over and go be a teacher now. Now I'm going to go back to the drawing board, back to building phase, back to ground zero, just to start all the way over, when you could have just stayed in being a lawyer for those 1 to 3 years, being really good at being a lawyer, which would have compounded, which would have gotten more clients and more referrals and more money. But instead you started over. Like, that's what I see all y'all doing over and over and over again. Stop starting over. Build one thing, be known for one thing, master the one thing, do it for years. Have people come to you and be referred to you, make a lot of money, and then take that money and take that freedom and go live your life and go get hobbies and go start a new business. Stop burning it down. I'm going to go through the Rome workbook and peel out the main things I need. You should, 1000%, you should go through that process. Anybody in here who's in Academy, who's watching this replay, who's in Academy, go back through building Rome until it sticks in your brain like glue, and you can't even sleep at night because you wake up to my voice being like, be known for one thing, stop ruining your life. I'm on one today from a roll from yesterday. Also, again, I'm going to repeat this to you guys 1,000 times. If you are not inside Breadwinner Energy Academy, but you told me from watching this call, you have big goals and dreams, big impact, big money, big freedom. You want to speak on stages. You want to be known for something. You want to be known for a title. If you said your net worth is going to be 2 to 5 million, and some of you said $1 billion, if you said you want to write a book, what are you going to be known for? You have to figure that out and build an empire around being known for that one thing, because that's how you get invited to stages. That's how you get invited to write books. That's how you get invited to bigger opportunities. But are you going to build it, be known for it, and become the woman that has it and holds it? That is your job to figure that out. And if you need help figuring that out, and not only figuring out what it is you are known for, getting coaching on what you're known for from me, feedback one-to-one from me, because inside of Academy, We not only have calls where I give coaching and feedback, we also have a Q&A. You ask any question anytime, I record a voice memo and put it in the portal for all of you. But in September, we're doing 6 calls, building bootcamp, so that your entire business is built in the month of August. No, sorry, in the month of September. And in October, we're doing leads and sales challenge. So we're learning how to make money over and over and over again for the thing that you're known for. You're learning how to create content. You're learning how to sell. You're learning how to get leads. You're learning how to grow a business and be known for one thing, all while becoming the version of you required to build it, have it, hold it, grow it, scale it. Be an academy. Be in the room. You also get Fire Pit access. So if you're already paying for Fire Pit, you come to Academy, we take your Fire Pit payment away. You only pay for Academy, you get both programs for 1 year with me. If you're thinking of joining, do the thing. If you're thinking of joining and you watched this entire call and we talked about a lot of things about saying what you want and doing something else, saying you have these goals and not going after them, saying you want something and not acting like the version of you that says it. If you go through that threads we talked about, and that is you, because you're giving a lot of hoopla about how you're this and you're that and this modality, and I do this for this person and that person and that person, that is your work to clean that up. Because no one knows what you're talking about or what you do or what you're selling. It has to be cleaned up. Okay, I've gotten a lot of clarity over the last 9 months in Academy, 0 regrets. Toriel, thank you for saying that. And also, very proud of you because Toriel has had a journey inside of Academy. She has had a journey of shadow work and inner work that she has never done, mixed with business building and breaking in a new area of business and leaving a 9 to 5 and all kinds of things. Toriel has lived her life in the last 9 months and it's been hard. And also, she has shown up to, I think, almost every single call that we have ever had. And she gets coaching and she participates in every single call. And her results are an absolute from her showing up and doing the work. So, Toriel, you should be giving yourself a huge round of applause for the amount of work you've put in and shown up for yourself. You should be very, very proud of yourself. I am very, very proud of you. Thank you for showing up too. It is huge to come to all the calls. Like, I have a few students that come to every call. Karina is also one of them. She's not here today, ironically, but she's almost on every single call and she's in all 3 of my programs and she's been with me for years and her businesses are a direct result of how much she shows up. When she started with me in I think it was 2021 or 2022, she was at a 9 to 5. She had never even started a business. She had no business, none. She hadn't even started. She had no idea what she even wanted to do. Now, 2026, she has 2 businesses. One makes passive sales almost daily, all the time. The other one is in the process of being built. She's already signed a client before launching it. Thousands of followers. She's grown multiple TikTok accounts. She has a very successful podcast and she quit her 9 to 5. So that is a very clear, when you show up and you do the process, because she's never been coached by anyone but me. I'm not to take credit, but she does show up and do the work. Karina is that girl. I love her. When you do the work and you commit to the work works. Because like I said, Karina had no business before she started this. So from 2021 or 2022 to 2026, having 2 successful platforms and businesses and quitting a 9 to 5, yes, maybe it took her 4 or 5 years. But in 4 or 5 years to be able to quit your job and have 2 successful businesses, worth it. Worth it. So let that sink in. Y'all, I've been on a roll the last couple of days. So I want to say thank you all for being here today and listening to the amount of tough love I've given. And if you're on the replay, I would challenge you to do the things I said in this call today. Go to the threads and read through it. Are you known for one thing? Post in the schoolroom and see if other people, if you post what you're known for, what you're building your entire empire around, let us take a look and see if we know what you're saying. Like, let other people be the decider of if they understand what you're known for and why you, not your modality, right? Not tarot, not energy work, not organization, not the thing, not the modality, but what you're known for, the results that you get someone and why they should hire you as the person to help them get that result. How do they connect with you? What is your story? Okay. Really challenge you to do that work. I also challenge you to decide what you're going to build, your brand, your business, the impact, the goals that you have. And are you being that version of yourself right now? Are you showing up every single day, building through the yes and no's? Do you have a protocol for making decisions? Are you making decisions faster? Are you getting yourself out of victim mode and indecision mode repeatedly? Okay. Are you doing the work of the fire pit? Your fire pit has lots and lots of hours of training. Are you actually going through and listening? Are you doing the trainings? Are you implementing the trainings? Are you implementing the work that's in your portal? Or are you just letting this go to waste or to the side and out in the world looking for the next certification and the next modality and the next thing and the next platform? That is your work. Okay. As always, thank you guys so much for being here. Next week, we do have a guest expert. I would love it if all of you could come. It is on our school calendar. We actually had 2 guest experts this month. And if you are interested in the academy or think that it is for you, feel free to message me or any of the women inside, and I will chat with you all soon. Bye, everybody.